Your electric cooperative system is much like this highway. The highway is built to have enough lanes to serve its users during the time of maximum use, typically rush hour. The number of cars this highway can handle during rush hour is its capacity. Your utility system also has a maximum capacity based on its own type of rush hour, that period when the most people are using the most power from the utility at the same time, called peak demand. In Montana, the utility's rush hour, or peak demand, often occurs in the pre-dawn sub-zero hours of winter, when the wind is not blowing and the sun is not shining. Just like the rush hour on the freeway when the most cars are using the roadway, during the co-op's peak demand, a lot of people take power from the system. This includes those with home-based renewable generation, called net meterers, as well as co-op members without net metering. Both types of users rely on the system capacity to serve them when needed, especially during the rush hour period. Now let's talk about the costs of that highway and your electric cooperative. The total cost of building and maintaining the highway is based on what size it needs to be to handle rush hour traffic. The utility system is the same. The costs are based on the cost of building and maintaining the utility's infrastructure, poles, wires, substations, and other equipment and people to handle the utility's rush hour. The system must be built to serve members when the most power is being used. Under the current rate structure, everyone pays their fair share of the co-op's infrastructure costs. The more you use, the more you pay, ensuring there's enough capacity for all co-op members during rush hour. But with net metering, a cost shift occurs. The net meterer is no longer paying for their fair share of the full capacity and infrastructure costs, even though at times he or she uses the system just as much as a non-net metering customer. This cost shift doesn't happen when the net meterer is generating. It occurs during rush hour, or the utility's peak demand, when the net meterer is using the utility system for all of their needs, like everyone else, but isn't fully reimbursing the co-op for that use, because current rates let them bypass payment of a sizable portion of those peak demand costs. While most cooperatives have been able to absorb the relatively small cost shift created by a few net meterers, all indications are that the number of net meterers on the system will greatly increase in the near future. Under the current rate structure, this will result in an increase in rates to those who don't install solar panels or wind turbines. The need for capacity and the costs associated with operating the system won't change, but utilities will be forced to shift those costs to those non-net metering members. This is why a change in the net metering policy or the rate structure is needed. Just like this highway, the change will ensure that everyone who's using the utility system during its rush hour will be paying their fair share.